All right, so we're here at Namco Bandai Games. We're here with the best looking game of the show, Ninokuni, Wrath of the White Witch for the PS3. As you know, I've covered the game extensively for Gamaki, and so we're here with our producer, Catherine, on the title.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And nice to meet you. And I had a few questions I wanted to ask about, the localization of the game. Like, first of all, I'll ask easy one. How did Namco Bandai get involved with the distribution of the title in America?
Most of the localization is being handled by Level 5, but I believe that they want to come to us to handle the distribution because they know that we have extensive experience, obviously in the North American realm, North American territories, so they trust us to distribute the game as well as we can. We have experience with the other JRPG titles like Tales of, so this is just another title that we can lend our expertise to make sure it's distributed and marketed correctly.
Okay, so as far as localization, you said like Level 5 is handling it themselves. I know they have a small office in Santa Monica. My question kind of answers one of my questions I had is this is not being done by the same group of people that handle Tales of dubbing, is it?
Oh, not at all, not at all. Everything's on Level 5's side. So although they do have a studio in Monica, that's more their marketing side. Localization, VO, that is headed by Richard Mark Honeywood, or Honeywell. I believe you might know him. He's a really great name. He's had experience with many JRPG titles. He's actually located in the Japanese branch. He's doing all the localization. From what I know, the voiceover was actually done in England, I believe. So the talent is people we haven't heard about, so it's completely new, and it really lends itself to that fantasy world, and everything's kind of new, something you haven't seen or heard before.
All right, cool. Now, I've, like I said, covered the Japanese releases of the title, and I wanted to say one of the best gaming experiences I ever had was on the first edition of Ninokuni, which was the DS version. And the reason for that was because of how it integrated use of the Magic Master book. Now, I understand that's not coming out to America. Is there any reason you can give me why we're not getting the Magic Master book?
For the Magic Master book, I'm sorry. I can say now that we don't have concrete plans what to do with it. I can't really get into why we would or wouldn't do it, but...
Not a deal with like Brady games or anything like that? Not considered?
I don't have details on that, I'm sorry.
Okay, now as far as the translation goes, I found some of the name changes curious. The Tear Fairy Shizuku has been named to Drippy. Why Drippy? Is he like the nasally congested lost dwarf from Snow White?
I'm sorry, but those decisions were made also on the localization side, so I don't have as much insight into why they chose to do that. I trust that they're trying to create that fantasy world that is easily acceptable by the North American audience, so there must be some logic to their madness.
Okay, now as far as any additional content, there was a version of the game that's recently come out in Japan called the All-in-One Edition. Is that content coming to North America or not?
I'm not really sure how much I can go into detail about DLC plans besides that they're still in the works about what will be DLC, what will be in the game.
Okay, now will the game include a dual language voice option? And if so, will the names revert back to their Japanese names if you're playing in Japanese?
There is English and Japanese audio. And when you're playing the Japanese audio, of course, characters are speaking the names. But I believe the subtitles in English or whatever other language you choose would still say things like Drippy or Oliver or Esther.
Okay, so you said earlier that the dubbing was done in England, actually, and it's interesting because all Ghibli films have been dubbed lately by Disney. Was there ever any talk of collaborating with them about it, or did they ever approach you at all as far as dubbing?
No, unfortunately, there was no any sort of partnership negotiation with Disney. They're very separate.
Okay, that's interesting to know. Now, as far as the portable version goes, has there been any discussion at all with Level 5 to maybe update the game for me for a 3DS build? Because I know the DS market's kind of dried up at this point. Has there ever been any discussion to bring the portable version over? Because it actually is a different gameplay experience a bit.
I completely understand. I know that the original DS had a really great element of using a stylus, obviously, for spells. In terms of any recent talks about it, no, we're really just going for the PS3 because we feel that's a console that has a lot of potential to sell this title very well and represent it the best it can.
Okay, so, and the title comes out January 22nd, 2013, I believe?
That's right.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, and I'll be looking forward to the game, and hope to hear more from it soon.
Thank you so much.